Welcome to Form 1099, the form that has gotten a lot of people, probably millions of people, into tax trouble over the course of time. The 1099 is a form that you receive at the end of the tax year stating how much gross revenue you earned from a particular company. It is the single most misunderstood form, I think, and the people who receive them oftentimes say, I don't know, why did I get this form? I thought I was an employee. No, you're not an employee where taxes are taken out of every check when you are a contract labor person. If you filled out the W-9, the famous W-9, that means you're receiving the infamous 1099. So if we go to the 1099, it has information on it that looks very much like a W-2. Has the company name for which you worked, their identification number, then your identification number, your name, your address, and then over here in number 7, note what it says: non-employee compensation. That means you were not an employee. You do not pay taxes out of your paycheck when you get it. It's not even called a paycheck. Actually, a paycheck is only when you're on salary. This is not salary. People are not cutting you paychecks. Non-employee compensation means that this money in this box got to you completely untaxed. And this also means that you're not eligible for anything that an employee might be eligible for. So, be very careful when you go to work for a company who says, oh, by the way, you won't be an employee, you'll be a contract labor. And you go, okay, because you haven't worked in a while and you're a little bit, behind the 8 ball and you need money, so you agree to do this. This right here, number 7, non-employee compensation, implies that you own your own business. It implies that you are on your own and you have other clients that pay you 1099s. So the person, I don't know, I'm not going to say that everybody's trying to be underhanded, but because you're here in item 7, your employer is not paying tax on you. That means they're not doing that matching 7.65% that I explained on the W-2. That means that all they're doing is paying you a certain amount for the hours you work, and you're responsible for everything else. There are millions of people that got a 1099, did not understand that, did not pay tax in, tried to collect unemployment when they were fired from their job or let go, and ended up going, what happened to me? So this opens a whole nother problem. So I'm going to get back to that in a second. If you get a 1099 because you are a landlord, your tenants are supposed to send you, yes, that's true, you live in an apartment, you pay your landlord every month, you're actually supposed to send them a 1099 telling them how much rent you paid them. So if your rent is $1,000 a month, you're supposed to have inbox 1, $12,000, and you are the payer name and they are the recipient name. So you see, this goes both ways. If you paid a lawyer for your divorce, you're supposed to send a 1099 and put employee compensation, non-employee compensation there, where you're the payer, your ID number is your social security number, you need to get their ID number and you need to put their name here and send this to them. This is the best way for you to prove that you either got money or you paid out money. So this form, and I know it's scary and misunderstood, but you have to do it. This is also where you would pay royalties. If you paid royalties to somebody, commissions, other income, this is the form you would use. So look over here in item 4. On your W-9 that you filled out, there's a box there that says, are you exempt from taxes being withheld from your checks that you receive as a contractor? And most everybody says they're exempt. However, if sometimes the person paying you is forced to withhold tax because you're a foreign entity or something's going on. So you might actually receive a 1099 where federal tax has been withheld on your behalf. Or you might be giving out a 1099 where federal tax has been withheld on behalf of the person you paid. But remember, that federal tax withheld has to be sent to the government. So really what we want is a 1099 that's kind of doesn't have that on there. What it really is, the 1099 most commonly is used for non-employee compensation for someone who is implying by getting a 1099 that they have their own business. Now you have to understand, this opens up a lot of opportunity if you really are a true contract laborer, to reduce your non-employee compensation with your cell phone and auto insurance and auto payments and office supplies. It opens up a big world to you that we'll go into later, called the Schedule C for individuals. But it's still dangerous. If you have, let's say you got $60,000 as non-employee compensation from one client during the course of a year, and you never paid tax on that. If you think about our Form 1040 that we have to fill out, that is all going to go in without any tax taken out. We don't want that to happen. So we're going to learn how to firstly, how to decide if we're truly a contract laborer, which implies you have a business license and you have your insurance and you have all these other things in place. But we're going to decide, is that beneficial to you? And if the only jobs you can find are 1099 jobs because employers are getting tired of all the tax, you have to decide whether you want that job and whether you can handle that. And then we get into the wonderful world of estimated tax payments. So what goes along with this little Form 1099 is a W-9, the 1099, and then coupons for estimated tax payments called 1040 ESs, estimated, and 540 ESs if you're paying state. So you've got some stuff going on when you sign up for the W-9, you get a 1099, you now can open up a Schedule C on your tax return. Believe it or not, the tax return goes A, B, C, D, E. It's actually very organized. It may look like foreign language to you, but it's organized, and we'll go over that. So what happens when you fill out a W-9? Means you're going to get a 1099. What does a 1099 mean? It means you better have filed estimated taxes over the course of the year. Otherwise, you can be in big trouble. So now that I've introduced this form to you and I've shown you the W-9, we're going to have to talk about the estimated taxes in our next video and know how to pay those and what amount to pay. It can be confusing. And I don't want you to go out saying, I didn't know that, I had no idea, or I don't know why I ended up owing so much tax. What can I do? Help. We're going to try and avoid all those scenarios in the future. I want you to know what I know after all these years in business. I want to share that stuff with you. I want you to understand it. So let's keep plugging away at this I don't know mentality and become people who really do know. Thank you.